Hi.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
So we are talking about the tenets,
Yes.
and the tenets, to put in context, if you're just joining us, a group of sort of principles that, well, you say this better than I do.
Yeah, tenets, they're like pillars. They're like a foundation or support to the structure of our religion and our tradition. So in an earlier post, which we'll probably compile at a later date, we talked about tenet of balance, tenet of harmony, and the tenet of trust. So the next one we're going to talk about today is the tenet of humility.
So humility, it's great timing for this because we just had a conversation about the pros and cons about using Lord and Lady, which
Yeah.
is part of our tradition. Not everybody chose to use it, and there's because reasons. So often, as someone, as you said,
Yeah. I think sometimes people can be very wrapped up in titles and
yes.
lose idea of that it is a position of service. Um, so humility is a reminder to ourselves to sometimes keep ourselves in check, not let our egos overrun and sort of ruin the message or um, spoil our actions. It's good to sometimes check our motivations. So sometimes we don't realize our motivation is to bolster our position or our standing or, to win an argument, not be wrong,
Not be wrong.
not
Yeah.
be wrong. Um, there's a lot of concern about, not being wrong these days. And if you are wrong, sometimes you get banished forever.
Yes.
So everyone makes mistakes. And if you are able to course correct, like acknowledge that you've made a mistake, you can make a change.
Mhm.
And that is how anybody becomes better. And without that action going on, there's no progress. People don't become experts for never making a mistake. They become experts because they've made every mistake you can make and they figured it out. So it's no one's is going to sit down at the and make something for the first time and have it be perfect. And then the challenge is, well, can you do two? Can you do 10? And it's always like, can you do 10? Right? And ceramics always said, we'll make 10, because once you have 10 done, then you have a start. You make 10 and then you make more, obviously. But 10 would be a really good start if you could make 10, you know, perfect plates, if you will. You
Mhm.
know, I could never make a plate, so it's a good example. I could make a cylinder, I could make a cup.
Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. But but I did okay with bowls, but I did better with straight edges coming up.
That makes sense.
So it's a delicate touch to do a bowl and not have it collapse. But I always thought it was great in ceramics just because you were always finding your center. So tenet of humility is not pride or arrogance, but a love of self and an understanding of self so that self can help others.
Um, in keeping with the, you learn things by making mistakes and going on. One of the things I like about Wicca is that we are encouraged to look within and understand ourselves. Because if we understand ourselves and our motivations and how we think about things, it enables us to grow and correct course if needed. It's
Yes.
and a way of being also honest with ourselves too.
Yes. One of the reasons why Alexander suggested that we put a mirror
Mhm.
behind our altar. So whenever we come to our altar, we'd see ourselves and be
Yes.
confronted with ourselves.
Which could be failings or the divine flame, depending.
Yeah, which is taking us which is taking us to our next tenet, which is the tenet of tolerance. A lot of times people think, oh, that's tolerating other people, but sometimes it's tolerating our own human condition. And
Agreed.
yeah, we're all eh, in this to evolve and to learn our friends and our enemies. Um, and sometimes they're the same, sometimes they switch places in life. Uh, it, so it has to do with, I think, understanding the human condition. Um, Ton of tolerance for you must restrict anger and refuse to speak ill of another. We are all human.
Mhm. I feel like tolerance has the word has in some ways been overused in the last couple decades.
Yeah, the connotation is sometimes slipped from, namaste, acknowledging each other's, divinity and humanity to like tolerating negative or bad behavior. That's not what that's about. Um, but what is good and what is bad is sometimes, debatable. So sometimes, we have to pull back a little bit, allow for, different opinions and different points
Mhm.
of views. Um, and if you've already decided what your position and your point of view is, there's no room for you to learn about somebody else's point of view. Um, and that's good sometimes. That's good for, I think that especially in our American culture to learn other cultures and, see things from somebody else's vantage point. So,
I like it. I like it. Thanks for that great um, explanation and exploration of what tolerance means in our context.
yeah. And I already roped in the next tenant and that.
Yes, you did, which the next is the tenet of learning.
Yeah.
So, as part of this journey of interior and exterior exploration and learning about um, other traditions or learning about ourselves, the tenet of learning really, it's kind of that the more you learn, the more you know that you have to learn.
Yeah.
So, leaving, um, and it also is about okay, you can't just read a book and do the thing. I could read 100 books about fishing, but if I've never held a fishing pole, it's not going to be super helpful. You have
It's
to
true.
do your hands on.
It's true.
You could read books about building pots,
Hmm.
but without actually having built pots,
Yes.
it's all academic. Yeah,
Yes.
it's all
Yeah. There
academic.
in many subject matters, there are many people that have read a book or think they know.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, there's sometimes if you think you know, you put yourself in the position where you are not learning.
And in that case, it actually kind of reflects the scientific thought process
Yeah.
because the scientists that I know and interact with, there's always that door for new discoveries
Yeah.
happening.
Oh yeah.
So if you have yourself in the stasis, there's no room for um, new things to learn.
Yeah. Yep.
Look, learning. We go back to the
It's true. It's
oh,
true. Three magical words that Alexandra used to use a lot, and I don't know.
I don't know. Mhm,
But the reason why they're magical words is when you can acknowledge it in yourself, when you can say it, then you can learn something then. You open
mhm,
the door to an opportunity that otherwise may not present itself. Once we acknowledge we don't know, we can begin to learn as true Wiccans. We
mhm.
will always be students. and the tenets are ended with a little heart, a little heart emoji.
Little heart
So
emoji.
yeah. Um, as we have said before, and as we'll say again, love is the highest law.
Mhm. That is the highest law.
So if you don't know what to do, trust in your heart.
Mhm.
The
Start
head,
from
the
point.
heart, and the thigh.
Mhm.
All right?
Right? It is
These
so true.
these are the three worlds that the witch would operate in.
Mhm.
The head is we put a lot of value in it, and it is important, but without the heart, there is no head.
Mhm.
And the thigh is that physical world where the tires meet the pavement,
Mhm.
where our words meet action, and we walk our talk.
And we also, it's important to take care of our physical needs
Yes.
so that the other parts can work. And that goes, we take care of our our heads
Yeah.
so that the other parts can work and then
Yeah.
kind of meet in the middle.
It's true. And you'll see these trinities
Hmm.
again and again. So, well, blessed be.
Blessed be.